You're about to hop on the hay.
If you go where
just start laying them down.
God is.
Fucking I'm Jack from here and everything I fucking had now.
We ought to do a show just on that.
So we all heard about the submersible story. Did you guys hear about the other things that are going on in the news?
Like
The 700
What other
refugees
things,
that drowned in the
there's nothing else.
See,
in
but
the
that,
news.
okay, yes, that, but the only reason people know about that is because Obama brought it up. And I'm not saying that, I'm not saying you don't know about
Yeah,
it. I'm
fuck
saying the
Obama.
mainstream people. I'm saying mainstream people only know about that because Obama. I don't want to make that sound like I'm saying you're fucking listen to Obama and that's why you know her.
Did you listen to Obama?
You listen to Obama?
Wait, hold on.
Not in this house. But no, the yes, that. But the emails between J.P. Morgan and fucking Epstein just came out confirming. From my understanding, like confirming they knew everything that was going on with him.
Yeah.
Like back and forth with like J.P. Morgan, like Chase Bank,
Yeah.
and basically proving that they were aware of not only the sexual allegations and the conviction that he received in 2008, but they were aware of like all of the like the island, and they were like aware of all the like sketchy ass shit that he was buying.
Like him personally, like they were.
Oh, yeah.
They personally knew him.
Oh yeah, like people were there.
Yeah,
I didn't, this is all alleged. I don't want to get in trouble.
I mean, if he's doing bank with them and pulling loans out to buy islands and shit, they know him.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and then it's like
Meals and shit.
when you get that high up or whatever, your net worth is like your collateral with banks. I've heard is you can just say like, oh, I own, fucking $200 billion in stock options.
Right.
I'll use that as collateral, and then whatever the fuck, and then they'll give you a loan, and then you buy a house.
So they knew what he was investing in and how sketchy he was being.
Yes.
Well, hold on though, because I do want to hear the details of these dead people on the boat. What was Obama telling us?
Oh, I don't know much about the story. I didn't even hear it through Obama.
Yeah. I mean, but the story though.
In the Mediterranean Sea, there was like a shipload of like refugees.
So start from the beginning. Obama calls you on the phone.
Hey motherfucker, did you vote for me?
Did you vote for me, motherfucker?
You weren't old enough.
Fuck, we're on the ticket, bro. Supposed to vote for me anyway. No, but okay. So the Michael Jordan of presidencies. He's fucking talking about these dead people, and he said there's just a boat full of fucking migrants off the coast of Greece.
Well, I'm pretty sure they were being like chartered by the National Guard and everything, like off of the coast of Greece, and like the whole ship just sank. 700 people drowned. Like,
Oh.
and it was like during the same week that the.
Yeah.
It was like a way more significant story than 5 people going down to the bottom. 5 like billionaires going down to the bottom.
Yeah,
of
but
the
those
ocean.
5 people were worth more than all
Monetarily
all those
speaking.
fucking people combined. How sick is that? That's why we heard about it. But
It is pretty
that
freaking
sucks.
wild.
But also, is it much of a story? I mean, how did it sink? They're just like, too many fucking beamers on the boat, or what's this?
Well, I think they were Syrian. First of all.
What was that?
They're
Yeah, I know. They're probably like Syrian.
He's just using it as
Who's
a.
also coming over there? There's a lot of, I guess it's mostly Syrian refugees, right?
I'm gonna guess, and then what's the fuck? It's not Sudan, but the pirate Somalia.
Somalian refugees?
I'm guessing a bit of
Okay.
Somalia. That's a guess.
Okay. So you think it just sank because they're just a shit country? It's the Greece?
I don't know. There's not much news about it, so it's just not a
See,
whole lot
that's
of
the fucking
information.
problem.
Like,
No one covered it, dude.
This is
No
why
one
we need
cared.
to hire a hot ass fucking reporter to go out there
I'm telling you, dude.
on the ground.
That's why. Okay, so I will
Look at all
say
these
now that
poor
we're
kids
back on
drowning
the
to death.
now that we're back on the topic, at 500 subscribers,
At
people
500.
can join. Okay, quote unquote. Do you guys know
Join
what
our
that
cult?
is?
yeah.
Okay, so you can join and pay a subscription. So we
Yeah.
can't make at 500 subscribers we can't make ad revenue, but if
Have
we
you-
have like a good enough following,
Have you
people
guys
can pay
ever
us.
joined
No.
a character?
A character.
Joined
No, I've
a,
subscribed to things, but I've never been
a joiner?
a payer,
A follower?
Well, dude, you fucking better be.
I've
All right,
never-
Taylor.
we
Otherwise,
expect you all to join.
There's a gold mining one from a guy in Nevada, and if I was going to give anyone $5
Oh,
a
yeah.
month, it'd be that guy, Jeff Williams.
no, that's fair. I mean, I get it.
I've never joined. That's my point.
Here's what my point is. All right,
What is
fuck
your
all
point?
your points. My point is that we're trying to compete, and I'm not saying give me money right now. I'm
We're
saying once we
fucking
get to a fucking
CNN,
big
dude.
enough, I'm trying to compete with like Netflix.
Okay.
People like that.
Because we make better content.
On what?
On YouTube? What do you mean?
It just in general, in content, in regards to content production. You know what I mean? Now, obviously, we're a long way from that. I'm not expecting to do that by the time I'm 35.
Yeah,
you know what I
look
mean?
at us.
I'm saying by the time I'm 50, it would be nice if I could sit here and say, hey, look, Restless is one of the things people subscribe to. And then, for instance, we would have like a media wing, which would be like the Patriot Estate, and then like so on and so forth. Because we are talking about, I've already talked to Kenton about being in a movie that I really want to produce, but I have to wait until 2033 to even like release anything about it for legal reasons.
Yeah.
So that takes a shit ton of funding, obviously. So anyways, I want to be making like, big boy movies.
Big boy adult movies.
That's why I said big boy movies.
Now I'm in.
Now I'll pay my thing. I didn't know it was adult film. Anyways, okay, so then since, it's been forever since we've done a speakeasy, what do y'all think about this whole,
It's shit.
Bud Light controversy thing?
Oh yeah, you guys.
Everything going on with all of that?
I never did, no.
Yeah, never got it. That's the funny.
Isn't it crazy it was the #1 beer, not only in the nation, in the world?
It is crazy. Well, Modelo.
Like, what?
Modelo
Is
took
now,
the
yeah,
spot,
yeah, took the spot in the nation, yeah.
And so, hey, you know what? More power to them. You know what I'm saying? Well, the same thing's happening with Target and shit. I think it's important because finally people are understanding, like, oh, I can vote with my dollar, which is, shit people have been saying for a really long time. But now they're like, oh, if everybody else, if there's a huge movement behind it, But I wish it was smarter, right? I wish it was a little more strategical. Like, everyone stop paying your fucking registration fees. Stop fucking paying your goddamn property
I
taxes.
think it's getting there, though.
Dude, it should.
I
Everyone
think
should
this
stop
was like
paying their
kind of
property
like,
taxes. So many people that you can't just go knock down every one of their doors. Just fuck you. Come
Well,
get
I
your
do
shit.
think that you have a good point there, but I will say I do think if anything, I don't think. Let me put it this way: I don't think it's getting there. I think if anything is going to get it there, this will be the thing that gets it there.
Right. I mean, it could get it there in 50 years. Who knows? If it's only a matter of time if we don't kill ourselves before it's too late, then eventually we'll end up at that conclusion. But it seems like, honestly, the AI is gonna fucking hack the goddamn. See, you got the fucking AI, you got the fucking Wagner group trying to fucking scrap for nuclear weaponry. And who knows what's really going on there? I'm not even paying attention to it because I know it's just a bunch of fucking hogwash. Once again, like everything else that we've been fed in this world.
What do you guys think?
Yeah.
About what?
Everything we just said.
Every word.
I don't know.
I mean, do you know what the Wagner group is in the situation down in fucking Russia right now?
Oh, yeah, like I don't really know a whole lot about it, but like basically the revolting force against Putin or whatever.
Yeah, basically they're a Russian mercenary army. And they just were like, oh yeah, you started this fucking Ukrainian war shit over some false pretenses or whatever.
Yeah.
And so they're turning around and they're fucking taking on the Russian army, and they're gonna try to though. But the thing is that the dude from the Wagner group is like, I mean, you talk about like fucking warmongering oligarchs.
Well, and here's the crazy thing is that fucking Putin almost had to call in the Chechens to come take him out. And how weak does that make Putin look? He can't even get his own army to take out mercenaries from his own nation.
Okay, so nobody knows, but the thing is imagine like a communist country that they don't change very often ever, right? So it's like the same shit all over again, and like as soon as they take that shit, they're just going to snuff these fuckers out. The richest dude who's paying all those people is gonna run the fucking country, take over the fucking place, and like, I mean, it's gonna be fucking wild because, I mean, they're a superpower. They're not the greatest, but they're a fucking superpower, and they have fucking nukes, dude.
Well,
and like this fucking crazy motherfucker coming in and taking a country like that.
Yeah.
If it happens, like.
Just in regards to the nukes, China doesn't even have nukes. They're working on their nuclear program right now, but they don't even have nukes. Russia's like our only like major adversary with nukes that like work.
Right.
You know, like I know North Korea's got ballistic missiles that they're always testing, but.
Yeah, but it can get pretty sketchy pretty quickly. But
But even in regards, like you're saying with this AI shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck is up there?
Yeah, it's only a matter of time before they figure out a way to. But that's the thing is they use old ass technology and pretty robust technology, and that's how they avoid getting these things hacked into. It's like a hardware piece of equipment that
That's like no Arduino running it.
But
yeah,
but
it's like some fucking like analog watch shit. You know, that's basically like the fucking switch and the fucking power. You know, it's all
But
like
dude,
hard connections and shit. So there's no hacking into it.
But what I don't
it's
think.
only a matter of time. The AI is superior.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
Figure
say.
it out.
I think that it's a matter of. I don't think it's one thing that I heard one time is if there's a wireless, if you have a switch that sends any sort of wireless signal, like for instance, a power switch, and then it's like there's just a diode that sends a signal to turn on. It's just not connected. It has to send some sort of, whether it's electrical or whatever the fuck, radio signal, whatever the sensor is built to do. That's hackable. So like they were able to hack into a fucking generator in a dam that was built in the 1960s because exactly that, the power button was wireless. It had like, it just wasn't a solid connection. It was just like it sent out some sort of signal or whatever, and it was like a 60s sensor, like an old fucking thing, and someone hacked it into it and shut down the power for a whole city.
It was just a garage door opener, I bet.
Right.
But either way, that my point is that like, you know, that's half of Russia's shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Well,
an
you see
AI...
That Flipper Zero, you
Mhm.
seen that thing? That would have done that.
Yeah.
The
Well, that's my
Flipper Zero,
point, though.
yeah.
So it's like it doesn't take AI. It takes AI realizing it just needs to hack into a garage clicker, which it'll do.
Right.
I saw a thing where they were like, make us this or whatever, and it realized that it couldn't get past the Okay, so it couldn't get past a CAPTCHA, right? Which is like the thing that says like, I'm not a robot,
You have
right?
to slide the puzzle piece.
Or even just click on I'm not a robot, because that thing detects what you did the past 5 minutes previously to you clicking on it. And it reads all the information that you just input into the like shit, and then based on what you did, it can tell if you're a robot or not. And so it couldn't pass any of these CAPTCHAs. So it goes online and says like, I'm a blind, deaf old lady, I'll pay you $10. Will you fucking do this for me? And it hired some dude off of Fiverr and paid them like $5 and stole someone's credit card information.
Holy shit.
Like they will figure out whatever if you give them a task and you say, do it, they're gonna do it. You know what I mean? It's fucking wild. So if you're like fucking and so I wasn't even trying to think about tying AI to Russia, but that is a great point in regards to like, because they got like World War II tanks out there right now, like you're saying, very like, you know, steampunk style, like old school shit.
But then once again, the helicopters these days on both sides, they're so fucking advanced. There's fucking brains on these things.
Yeah.
They have every fucking connectivity possible.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, a fucking drone jet, a fucking, you know, it's like, I don't think we understand what we're fucking with here, but, you know.
Well, the Russians have stuff that, like, there's the Bearden files, you know, basically they use, like, we use linear, like, math, like a piano, how it's like every eighth thing repeats, it's like the eighth note's the same. So we use linear harmonics, and the Russians use non-linear optics. And the difference is they can have two frequencies that do not communicate together, but because of the two transmission points and the third point is a distortion between the two. So if these two frequencies are not in phase, but they're aimed over here in a triangle, and then the third point on the triangle is the receiving end of, like, let's say someone's airplane that's, or a foreign object. They can collide two non-synchronized frequencies at that point in space and make the two waves come together.
And real quick, just as an explanation, right? That's how the way that taser works at a distance, right? How you can tase shit at a distance.
Yeah, and it's the Tesla. It's the wireless transmission without loss, because only coupled energy is subject to loss. So if you send a revolving positive ball this way and a revolving negative ball this way, and they only connect at one point and they miss everywhere else, the energy will only couple where the balls connect at a distance and be subject to physical loss, and a little lightning storm will develop there. And they've had
Basically
that
saying
since
you
the
could be standing in front of me and I could try and tase you, but it would tase someone 15 feet behind you because that's where the waves
Or you could tase me from
15 feet away.
where you are. Right?
Yeah, but the reason I use it is it would pass through you. It would go around you.
It's not harmonically coupled until at a distance, and the two transmission points have to be at the right exact points for it to work.
Wow.
So it's like if they were to target something, if they had two stations on the ground and something was moving, the frequency of both of them would have to continuously be changing to match the location they were trying to hit.
Or for stationary objects, or
Well, they could be locked to a stationary thing. It's if it was moving is the thing, is because you're creating a spatial phenomenon from two different wavelengths that aren't supposed to be harmonic, and you're just creating a pinch,
right.
and that'll create like a little, energy storm right there.
And honestly, the easiest way to do that would be by a satellite, right? Because they
Oh,
can
yeah,
just
they could
pinpoint your
just-
location.
Well, all the cell
and then
towers and
zap
everything will give
some
them
shit. Okay, so that's exactly
like 5G. They could just fucking 5G gives them to do that on the cellular level, so they can overlap broadwidths and collide together, and that's why like cancer and shit happens. Is because of that phenomenon. It's happening all of the time because all of our electronics are unsynchronized frequencies. And it could literally be because homie drives by at the same time this person does, and they're both on their phone, and then you get cancer because the rays collided at you 500 feet away. Because it's non-linear optics. It's a focal point of non-linear connected things that just happen. It's like two waves in the ocean will collide a certain way and create a rogue wave.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
A rogue wave.
And
Yeah,
do they use
that sounds pretty hardcore, homie.
That's where like every 100 waves that come up on the shore, there'll be like one of them that's like significantly crazier than the other waves, and it's just like a rogue wave. It happens because of the scattered interference. Well, there'll be a harmonic out of chaos, and it'll just create this big wave.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And it's also part of why the waves come in sets of threes. But the rogue wave will be like on every 12th one or some shit. It'll be like some weird other octave. It'll just happen.
Speaking of harmonics, dude, have you heard of tiddling? It's a thing that bullfrogs do.
With a T?
Tiddling, tiddling. So it's what they do when they're mating, and I was showing my lady a video of it the other day. Well, not when they're mating, but when they're trying to find a mate. Because we have bullfrogs in the pond, and we have one that's like a pretty decent size, and is probably going to start doing it this fall or whatever. But starts tiddling, dude. But basically, they do this, like it's like like that rolling croak that's just constant. But dude, they sit in the water, bro, and the water does like this perfect, like waving, like I can't even describe it, dude. It looks like, imagine like when you take sand and put it on a speaker, and how the sand looks like perfectly rippling.
Yeah.
It's doing exactly that. It's just this frog sitting in water, like croaking, but it's like a and it's like just these waves like emanating off of the fucking frog, dude. It is the wildest thing. And then people talk about how being around water and just the wildlife that's around water or whatever is really good for the psyche. And then it makes me think of like the harmonics of just like fucking wild animals.
Yeah.
You know, just constantly.
Well, dude, there's a weird thing with that.
Fucking elk.
If you,
I mean, whatever you want it to be. It could be a tittle.
It could be an owl. It could be a little tittle.
It could be a little tittle.
the Schumann resonance, it's like the ionosphere around the planet. It's like a bell ringing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's this crazy thing where you can listen to that, and they record it all the time from like different altitudes. And it works best when they record it from satellites, but you can kind of get it on the ground. But the energy on the surface is almost too dense to hear it, so it helps for them to do it from like a blimp or like up in the atmosphere. They can hear it way better. So there's recordings of it you can get. But in the morning, like before the sun comes up, the sound waves that are rippling off, because like the sun is like slamming on the atmosphere and the ionosphere and all that stuff, so it's sending all these ripples like this. So in the morning when the sun comes up and those ripples start coming up like this, you can hear it in the recording on the Schumann resonance thing, and it sounds exactly like bullfrogs and crickets on a pond.
Really?
And I think that all the pond life being wet and attached to the static and the dirt and all that, I think they can hear all of this electrical stuff. I think frogs and all that hear the Schumann resonance of like AM radio.
Okay, yeah.
All the pond life can hear that shit, because they literally, that's their language. If you hear the sunrise in the Schumann resonance, it sounds like exactly what the animals, the birds, the frogs, the crickets, everything on the lake is exactly at the same time as that in the morning when all the sounds rise early.
Well, it's funny
time.
because
Well, yeah, that's
Ohm.
crazy. Yeah, because there's a. That's what they do just before this out here. You'll hear fucking shit that you never knew was out here.
Yeah.
Frogs and shit, and you're like, what the fuck? You know?
Yeah.
And it's just before the sun rises.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Well, it's funny because the Ohm symbol, right? The Ohm.
Mhm.
That's like supposed to be the sound that the Earth made when it was born,
Mhm.
right? But a lot of cultures looked at the fucking morning time like a time of birth. So,
Well, it resets the human cavity every cycle of the day, and all the animals and birds and everything feel it.
dude, we solved
And they
it.
drive off of it.
We solved
Dude,
it.
I have a fucking.
That's it right there, bro. They're like they're all fucking talking the same shit.
You know?
There it is.
All the way down to the ripples of the little.
Yeah,
fucking-
yeah, the
whatever
tittling.
The humping or whatever you were calling
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. Well, they're not humping yet.
Oh,
Trying to find the
call.
hump mate,
It's
you
the
know.
call. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're
Oh,
tittling.
you're humping.
Yeah.
I heard you were over here humping, boy.
That's messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Cody, why are you
I'll
drinking
see.
water? Don't be a pussy. It's a speakeasy and you're drinking
I
water,
drink
dude?
that.
Highland Park right there.
Yeah, dude. Fucking A. We got Jameson. We got J-Mo, dog. And you're over here drinking fucking smart water.
Yeah, well, I gotta get hydrated for the game.
For the game?
I'm pre-gaming right now, dude.
What's
Wanna
the
taste
game?
of my pre-game?
What game are we fucking playing, dude?
Are we pre-ing?
Yeah, what's the pre-game for?
Oh, well.
How many
Did
of
you
those
guys hear
balls?
they're turning off the fucking wood-fired ovens?
What?
In
Oh,
New York?
yeah. In New York.
Oh, dude, you guys hear about
For
the
pizza?
Mm-hmm.
They're just not going to allow it?
Fucking, yeah, well, dude.
People are losing, and it,
Do
you
you
know what
like
the
the
fucking
fucking
crazy thing
frogs
is?
in the
People are
building?
losing their shit, dog.
Dude.
People are
Like
legit
doing the
losing their
frogs.
minds. Because you heard in LA they're taking away gas stoves, right? Heard about that? So they're taking away gas stoves because of global warming.
Yeah,
but then a
that's-
fucking famous fucking like TV chef was gonna open a restaurant in LA County. And then they did that, and he's like, well, I'm not going to do it then. And so then the real estate company went to the fucking county and was like, you better let this guy do it. And so he's being now they're allowing him to do it, but no one else is allowed to do it.
Yeah, but did you
Isn't
guys-
that wild, bro? Like, dude, it's like they're just shoving it in our faces that they are like way more privileged than us.
You just have to have a permit for it.
No, dude, it's not even.
But that's how they should do it, though. If they're
No,
gonna
I know,
single
no,
it
I-
out and let one dude do it,
Yeah,
give him
I
a
agree.
special permit, and if somebody's going to do it for a commercial purpose,
Yeah.
but then that's what they want to take away the commercial use if they want all the
I
restaurants.
mean, shit, I don't think you
It's
should be
just
allowed to
about
do that at all.
compliance. It's
Yeah.
the
Oh,
game
yeah.
of compliance and fucking like, oh, sure, your fucking car has been stolen fucking 3 times this past 2 years, but we're gonna have to fucking fix your life by taking away your oven roasted pizzas.
Dude.
But did you guys hear about fucking Elon Musk and Zuckerberg?
Oh my god, dude. I didn't think it was real.
I still
I was-
don't. I still don't. But if it is,
Dude, did you hear? It's
No.
like, you heard about Dana White coming out about it. You heard the whole story,
nah, I didn't
right?
hear the whole story.
Dude,
Lay it
Dana
down.
White came out and was like, yeah, no, they're doing it. The owner of the UFC says they're already scheduling a date. He was like, this is going to raise $100 million plus. He was like, this is going to be the biggest fight in history.
And his-
I'll pay to see it, dude.
I feel like it could happen, but I think it's gonna be lame as fuck.
Well,
Yeah, but
the
still,
one
they're not-
the one
it
thing
will
people
be.
are saying is that Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg are worth too much, and they're not.
Yeah, but I'll say
they're-
Zuckerberg is actually kind of athletic.
Yeah, he's
So-
really good at jiu-jitsu. Yeah.
So, and fucking Elon Musk is not short. He's a tall motherfucker, bro. He's African. So, he could.
I mean, I don't think that
somebody
has
could
much
lay
to
down
do
a
with
pretty
anything.
big walloping.
I think it's probably his Nordic blood.
Yeah, but it will be a ridiculous ass scenario. It's gonna be fucking funny as shit. But dude, I respect the fuck out of him for. I mean, really, dude, you're worth that much, and you're gonna embarrass yourself like that. Fuck yeah, bro. Do it up, bro. Do that shit now.
It couldn't be more embarrassing than the Saturday Night Live thing with Mario. Or
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think it's
Yeah.
an ego thing at this point, right? Because I'm sure Elon said it as like a "fuck him, I could kick his ass" kind of thing, and then he like said it like "fuck you," and Mark Zuckerberg's like doing really good at jiu-jitsu, and he's like, "All right, let's do it then, bitch." And so now it's like, and now Elon's got to be like, well, fuck, like, all right, I gotta do it now. So, you know, and it's like, dude, oh,
What's up, motherfuckers?
what's up, dude?
Hey, Christopher!
I do think that the Zuckerberg-Elon Musk fight, what I will expect,
God.
Dude,
if
you
it
got some money
happens,
on that shit?
if it does happen, I expect Zuckerberg to just go in there and submit him.
That shit ain't gonna happen.
What do you think's gonna? No, dude. If it happens, when it happens.
Yeah, if it happens.
It should happen for charity.
Yeah.
Do it for charity. Fuck
Yeah.
it.
Oh, dude, charity. Shut the fuck.
Fuck you.
What
else
They
is it
need-
good for? What else is it good for?
No, for
That's-
real.
You know, I'm thinking. Well, realistically, Zuckerberg should kick his ass, right?
That's what I think.
Well,
I think
dude,
he's just
Elon
gonna
Musk
choke him
is
out.
fucking huge, dude.
He's a
He's
fat
like
ass.
fucking. He's like 6'3" or some shit.
He's
Well, that's the
fat-
one thing. Yeah,
He's fat.
because he is in shape. And neither
Yeah,
of
that's
them,
what I was just saying. He's an
neither of
athletic
them know
motherfucker.
how to fight.
Yeah,
It
but
becomes-
the billionaires and they just fucking pay some dude to fucking download the information like it's the Matrix or some shit. You know?
he does have Neuralink,
Like,
dude.
yeah,
He's
well-
probably got prototype Neuralink.
He might, yeah.
They'll just send in a fucking.
It's like Matrix, yeah, like you're
He
saying.
might put
Zuckerberg's
he might
ass.
put some Iron Man type suit on and fucking, you never know, man. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
You know,
dude, you're
if
fucking
it's
right. That's the most likely scenario.
God knows what fucking Elon has up his fucking sleeve.
And then what else were we just talking about? What was
Oh, we were talking about wood-fire pizza ovens.
yeah, like
Shit getting
that.
banned.
But you're from Chicago, so you don't care.
Yeah, no.
What the
Eat that gas.
Oh, you guys do gas pizza? You do like fucking. That's a New York thing. The wood oven.
No, they got this.
Strictly
It's-
New York.
It's everywhere. I've seen it, but I never really pay attention to what the fuck it
Fuck
was.
pizza, dude.
Okay.
You don't deserve it anyway. Take it away from me.
See, he gets in this negative contrarian mood. and He's just like,
Pizza,
you know what? It's all not worth it.
Pompeii, and they're like, it's not a pizza though, but it looks like exactly like a pizza. It's like on the mural in the ruins of Pompeii or whatever. It was. Sitting by that, and it looks just like a pizza. Smoke.
Well, Italians do have pizza, but the pizza that we eat is American pizza. They eat like bread with like baked zucchini and olive oil on it. That's the way I heard it
That's
described.
what it looked like. It was like
They'd
a
help the shit.
flatbread that was still pressed and had like some other stuff, but there wasn't like a red sauce. It
Yeah,
was
or
just, like-
cheese or anything.
Yeah.
It's just like veggies and fucking
Yeah.
oil.
No, it's
and
healthy shit.
Which I mean, I'm all about, but you know, I like American pizza better.
Makes you feel like shit. It's good, but it makes you feel like shit.
That's true. It does, dude. That's why I just like steaks.
That's what we had for lunch, and it fucking
Steak
put me out.
or
no,
pizza?
pizza.
Okay, I was you had steak for lunch? Shit.
No. They put me out. They had it for lunch and it put me out.
Really?
You're still there.
Yeah,
Huh?
we're still there, dude.
So what's the plan?
We're still saving. But
Okay.
it's like, dude, it's shit is dumb expensive, bro. Like there's
Like,
not
what-
a worse
and
time to
What do you
buy a
look like? For instance, like just because
Looking
I
for
only
a
have.
fucking mansion on the lake.
Well, I'm not exactly. You're not looking for that. Like, what do you like in regards to like in your price range? What kind of square footage are you looking at?
Fucking tiny. I mean, there's dude, the fucking. You'd be hard pressed to find something for 300,000 out there. That's like a one, like.
Oh yeah.
Like I mean,
God damn, man.
it's just criminal out there.
You know, it is wild because I know, like, you know, I talk to like fucking, you know, I feel very kind of separated from the situation now. I'm not at all trying to like boast or by any means, but because I bought this place, but I was able to like kind of like land a deal with Suzanne and my grandparents helped me out and I just paid them back. But basically, you know, our like Ron was a great example. So we're down in Madrid talking to this guy Ron. That was yesterday, right?
I paid for 30 fucking grand for this house.
Yeah, I paid $327 a month, 10 years. I paid $4 grand down. It's like, what the fuck, dude? At like 25, I had to come up with $30K, dog. Like, what are you fucking smoking? If you paid $4 grand down, I could do that right now. Like, will you help me fucking find a place that's that cheap? Like, what the fuck, dude? No, it's wild.
Yeah, just not what it used to be. And but then back then, it's like it's undesirable. There's no work out here. There's a million reasons to live out here. So they're basically paying you to take the fucking property. I'm sure there's still places like that in the U.S., but they're so fucking far out.
You gotta go to like Montana and shit.
If I was gonna go to Colorado or anywhere really, I would look for patented mining claims. Because usually those properties are like 10, 20 grand, and they'll be like 20 acres, but they'll be like no access.
Oh yeah, that's
So it'll be
way
like
down
there's
the
no
road.
road, but then you could be like, well, there's an
Yeah.
easement down every section line or whatever. You just have to make your own fucking
Yeah.
road.
Well,
But then you can find like 20 acres for 20 grand.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good
true.
point. Amazon wanted to change all of their vans to electric.
Yes.
And I think it was Cincinnati, I believe, that was the
I
city.
did see that. Yeah.
And Cincinnati said, if you even charge 40% of your stock, you're gonna kill the grid. Don't you fucking dare. They're like, and that's the problem right now that we're running into is our grid can't power that many electric vehicles. California is already having blackouts because of how many electric vehicles are on the road.
And to my point, it's not there.
Yeah.
We need to do half electric, half gas, which supercars are doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
doing it.
No, I'm
You know,
with
I mean,
you.
it's
Yeah.
that electric gives you a fucking boost from fuck, dude. You know,
Mhm.
from hell, dude.
That's true.
And I mean, I'm cool with a little for now. Use a little. It's a generator.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah, yeah.
Power that shit. Little.
Did it recharge itself on the gas the whole time?
I mean, a little Honda generator will run fucking forever. And what do you?
yeah, yeah.
You know?
We were just looking at a bunch yesterday, yeah.
You know, like it uses nothing. Like back in the day, I had a little Honda CRX. That
Yeah.
fucker was getting like 40 miles per gallon. That's
Right.
you know, it was like a 93 or something.
Yeah.
It's like and it still has some balls. Add some electric to that
Yeah,
shit.
CRX.
And
hell
fucking.
They don't
It
want to
fucking
give us the
goes.
technology because freight trains have been diesel electric the entire time, and it's a diesel engine to drive a generator to run an electric motor.
Until they have.
BNSF, since
Yeah, yeah.
fucking day one that had diesel, they were like, all right, it's going to be an electric train with a diesel generator. They
Until,
don't give us the technology. They don't want us to have it.
until they could solve the fucking battery, cobalt, all that fucking other bullshit that comes along with it.
All right.
You know?
Yeah, then it's like that's supposed to be the point. It's like we end suffering and we end pollution, we end.
And I
torture
did
and slavery.
Google it the other day, Tesla and the cobalt usage, and it looks like they have another, but they're not putting it in the high end models because it doesn't have the mileage. But I forget the lithium something battery,
Lithium phosphate.
Ion?
maybe, but it doesn't use. There's like almost no cobalt,
Okay.
but it doesn't have the.
And I do know we have a
Doesn't
lot
have
of
the
lithium
range.
here in the U.S., which is nice. 'cause
Yeah,
I'm
it
sure-
doesn't have the range, so it's kind of like that. It's the argument to the, cobalt in Africa,
Mhm.
minings. So it does, there
But
is.
the problem with those lithium phosphate batteries, though, which I think is what you're.
You're probably right.
Lipo,
You're probably right.
lipo, we'll call them, and lipo batteries, and they fucking explode, brother.
Alright.
Hardcore. You get any water in there,
Oh, yes.
and it's like fucking.
Okay. Yeah, I know nothing. when it
Yeah, I
comes to-
mean they get pretty, and there's actually a couple of videos of Teslas exploding. Like
I was just about to say
Okay.
during the
Okay.
hurricane. That's all I was gonna. Yeah, throw in there. Is
During the
during
hurricane, and
the
there's another
most
one
recent
like-
hurricane in Florida, a bunch of Teslas lit on fire because of that shit.
Okay. Yeah. See,
That's
yeah,
wild.
I don't know enough about it. I just kind of read the.
It's not even the battery's fault, though. It's the
It's
water
humanity's.
turns to hydrogen and it gets hot and then ignites and blows up.
Really.
Yeah.
Well, either way, it happens, and it's fucking catastrophic. And there's no way to put the fire out either. There literally is no way. Like,
You just have to let
water
it
won't do
burn.
shit. Yeah, you have to let it burn out. And these Teslas have mass batteries. It's like a little fucking mini nuke going off, dude.
Well, it's all aluminum and it lights on fire probably. It's like the old magnesium Volkswagens, they get on fire and then they just burn on down the side of the
Oh,
road.
yeah,
Because the
yeah.
magnesium you could put in the
Yeah.
bottom of the ocean, it wouldn't even go out.
Right.
You fucking light the engine block of a Volkswagen up, dude.
Yeah.
It's not gonna.
See,
Gone.
there's so many factors in this shit, and it's working itself out. It's gonna take time.
Yeah,
But-
I'm into the fucking electric small vehicles though, the skateboards and the fucking motorcycles and shit.
Well, shit, you probably charge those on like a little
I want a
fucking
one-wheel.
generator. You know?
Yeah, I mean you could build like a little shed for your motorcycle, and just the roof is all solar panels.
They
Yeah,
need to
you can make it
sponsor
work.
us all $2,500 one wheels to test out Gold Mine Hill.
Go. I'm sorry.
Test off Gold Mine Hill.
Tested them out.
Yeah, we need to do Highway 14 on those one wheel things.
Oh, yeah, the
Yeah,
one wheel.
they gave us free ones.
Yeah, no shit.
Oh, it's
A one wheel. Fucking guys, just call it fucking unicycle, dude. We know you're just a clown. No, I like the actual one that look like a fucking unicycle though. You seen those? They sit between your legs,
no.
and they're like a fucking big, like a bicycle tire almost. and they've got pretty iller suspension, and there's 2 pedals on the side.
Did you ever see South Park
No.
with the It?
Uh-uh.
Never. You see
Yeah.
that one? That sounds familiar.
It's like a wheel that's fucking
It's a
you
big
in the
wheel.
ass, and you're sucking
You
a
gotta-
dick the whole
You
time.
gotta do this and
And
this
then he's
to get
like-
it going.
And he's like, I noticed and then he's like, I noticed the buttons on the side control all the same things. And he's like,
You gotta do
yeah.
this.
He's like, so you don't
It
have
gets
to
you going.
suck a dick or have something up your ass the whole time. He's like, well, I guess not. But what's the fun in that?
But yeah, no, back to your point. Yeah, man, it's the shit's coming a fucking long way, man. It's gonna take time.
Yeah, dude, I even saw these like fucking little tiny like fucking tin can things that you can go underwater in.
Ah!
They were great, dude. Okay.
All right, Lauren. Oh,
We did-
fuck.
Sorry, what was that?
What the
I
fuck
was
were you
talking
saying?
about the submersible.
He's being an asshole.
Oh, okay. I did. Okay, for a second I was like, I was looking at Taylor, and for half a second I was like, did he just fucking call that thing a tin can?
That's what it was.
Yeah, the fucking thing, yeah. Well, funny shit.
I mean, shit, with a video game controller, I mean, what'd they think was gonna go wrong?
Dude, they brought a spare, okay?
No, the
That
deal
their-
was,
that was their fail-safe.
the fail-safe was the diversity hires, okay? Not, you know,
that's
fuck
all that matters,
50-year-olds,
that's all that
man, they're
matters.
not inspiring.
Yeah, well, it's true. I'm inspired though because you know what? They took a hit for every
They did.
every
You're-
generation.
you're
You
right.
know, you've
You're
got to
right.
fucking fail a million times before
You're right.
you can do it.
You're right.
Let me
Yeah,
let me
no,
ask
I
you
think
this,
even though
Cody,
they-
and this is not me saying.
Ask me, dude.
I'm not asking you this in a
Derogatory.
targeted fashion. I'm not saying I'm not asking this
targeting
from
me?
across the aisle. Let me say it that way.
Am I being-
I'm not
I'm about to
asking
get
this from
triggered
across
now,
the aisle.
dude.
But what do you think the significance in that trip was?
The what?
Well, you were
Significance?
saying, what the fuck did you just say about these people? You were just giving them a bunch of reference.
They paved the way.
They paved the way. What did they pave the way for, Cody?
Oh, for those.
And I'm not asking this from across the aisle. I'm asking this genuinely. What did
Yeah,
they pave the
for
way
the people who want to do exactly that, travel underwater shit. Little
All right, that's what I was hoping to get.
commercial, like the Honda Civic of submarines.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
They
so like,
pushed the
yo,
limits, so they-
Jimbo,
no limit
that whatever carbon that they were using.
Yeah.
All right, so now they know it's only good for a few trips.
Yeah.
yeah.
Fucking whoa.
No, there you go. There you go. See, no, and that's what I was saying. I'm not asking this from across the aisle. I'm
No,
genuinely.
now
that's
we
fair.
know in the scientific realm, we know that you can't buy hardware from Harbor Freight and expect it to go and withstand 12,000 pounds of pressure
For a couple times it will.
for a couple times.
So that day, yeah.
If you have to
Have
fucking
you-
escape, dude,
After,
if
you
we're in
know,
a cave, dude,
well, it's
those
good.
submersible-
That's Harbor
Well,
Freight. That's
wow,
Harbor Freight.
the
It's
fact that you-
disposable tools.
One time
Use it a
use.
few times and that's it.
You know, the
Yeah.
Navy told everyone, or at least everyone that they needed to tell, that they heard that shit implode.
I heard
when it
that
happened.
today, yeah.
You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
know they fucking told them, like, you can't just let that happen.
So
Like,
now they're
because think about it, you're in a top secret sub, right? You're sitting out there, whatever, you're detecting Chinese fucking top secret subs or whatever the fuck your mission is, right? And all of a sudden you detect some sort of explosion, implosion, however it comes up on your radar. You think you're allowed to just be like, oh, fuck them. No, you gotta like,
Right.
yo, there was some shit at these coordinates.
Right.
And so somebody knew, and somebody also knew, yo, fucking homeboy just dropped that shit down in the ocean a few hours ago. That was probably them. So you know somebody knew about this whole situation and either didn't.
So why would they though? Like, why would you hear it and not say like that's
That's
That's funny.
what
That's
they're
one thing
saying.
we were talking about earlier is
Clog
because,
up the news system, dude. Fuck
well,
them.
okay, so there was Hunter Biden
Mhm.
text message story came out saying that I'm right next to my father, pay me tonight or else, basically. I'm paraphrasing like a motherfucker, but that's in essence what was said. Then there was another story saying JP Morgan, Chase Bank, allegedly knew, again, I'm saying allegedly because I don't know the story as well as I know the others, basically knew and had was aware entirely of all of Jeffrey Epstein's doings and all of his purchases and what his intent was. There was also the story about the Pentagon giving the Ukraine an extra $6.2 billion in equipment due to an accounting error. There was a ton of stories that came out that week, and all they did was just talk about these 5 people who died at the bottom. Or they're all sitting there, they're smelling each other's shit.
Because it makes news.
No, I know, I get it, but it's so did the other things.
It kind of got
It
me.
got
I'm like, what the
everybody.
fuck's up with that? You know,
It
like,
got
I
everybody.
do my normal routine before I go to work, and I turn on the news, fucking make my shit, and I wonder what's going on with that fucking little stuff. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like I don't want to pay
They drug it
attention
on
to
for
it, but
days.
Yeah, they drug it on way too long, you know, because once again they knew these fuckers were dead.
so yeah. I mean,
But
so what?
they're clogging the news system so that nobody.
So you think that's? I mean, what was the point? Like, I just listened to something today about that. Like, what would be the point of not saying something right away for the news outlets to make?
So
money?
so the news outlets don't
Well, they
report
want
on
the
these
whole
other
chase and
things.
the $1
So then the
million
populace
spent
isn't
and all that
focusing
shit that
on
happens to
Biden.
people
Because
look
I
like
heard. Okay, so hold on.
It's almost a
Like, oh,
conspiracy.
No,
But it
I
makes
agree.
sense. But it makes sense.
I agree. And here's the one thing
Kinda
though
got
I
me.
heard today.
Coast Guard, everybody else that just it's led on the goose chase. They
Right,
just
that-
let them
that's the
do all
wild
that to
part
spend the
is-
money on
There's
tissue.
like millions and millions
Oh.
of fucking international dealings lead right back to his dad, and them sharing bank accounts and fucking sending porn links back and forth to each other, and you know.
They have the same
Weird
phone
shit.
number, right?
Yeah, they share
They-
phones and shit. And
They have the
they're
same
just, you
phone
know,
number.
That's the thing is there's just too many there's too many connections there for criminality, and yeah, it's weird. But knowing what we know about Joe Biden's daughter's diary, that kind of it sounds weird when they're like, yeah, my son's sleeping in the same bedroom with
Joe Biden's daughter? What'd you say?
Yeah, you don't remember that Biden's daughter's
No.
diary?
No.
Oh, you don't remember that?
No.
Oh fuck, dude. Yeah, when it first came out,
What's her
I was
diary?
like, I don't know if this is true, and then I looked at it a little deeper, and I was like, oh shit, this is true.
So to clarify, her diary basically said it's all alleged, but Ashley Biden, James O'Keefe was given her Bible. Her Bible. I almost said her diary.
And previously, the information had come out about the laptop, the laptop, and then shortly thereafter, there was rumor of the diary, and then the more you looked into it, and then eventually.
It came out, and basically Ashley Biden said that her dad was showering with her. In essence, like all this weird, like I'm gonna use this word loosely because I don't have a better word, but molestation type shit.
Yeah, like I think there was even a point in that thing where she's like, I don't quite like remember, but I know that some weird shit happened.
This was in her diary.
Yeah, in her diary, you know.
And who founded that? I don't know, man.
That's the thing. But no, it really is because, dude, they fucking raided this dude's fucking house, bro.
The FBI
They fucking,
came in.
They came down hard on his fucking ass, dude. And it was pretty serious. They wanted that motherfucker back, like really badly.
Well, and then it's like the way you see them weaponizing the federal government these days, you know, and I'm not, whether you like Trump or you hate Trump or whatever, the way they rated him, the way he's being indicted these days, it's like there's multiple politicians who have done the exact same thing, if not worse than he has done, and they have yet to be indicted. And the reason, here's the deal, if you're going to indict Donald Trump, I'm all about it. I'm not trying to sit here and sound like
But
a
there's
Trump
a million motherfuckers before him. And
You
why-
better go after the other motherfuckers. Because we can't be sitting here indicting previous sitting presidents, because I like how everyone likes to use the word banana republic, like we don't know the word communism. But that's like communist, right? That's exactly like the Alexei, I forget his last name, but it's Putin's fucking political rival that he put in prison for life, and he's poisoning through his fucking prison food. It's like the exact same situation. You're trying to like, maybe not the exact, because we're not poisoning him yet, but they're trying to put him in prison. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's one thing when it's like someone kind of fucked around and did some shit, and you're
Is any of this really new though? I mean, they assassinated Kennedy.
Yeah,
see,
right.
and this is what I've been. No, I agree.
It's like none of this is really new.
But here's the deal:
It's
is
just a different form.
You know what?
now that we're talking about it,
If anything, it's
It's
more
gotta be
overt.
exactly.
It's right
exactly.
in your fucking face, like they're laughing at you, like the CIA is coming out, like, yeah, we're crooked as fuck, FBI crooked as fuck, and I say we're gonna.
Or
keep
it's, or you could say it's covert. It's in
going.
a different
Well,
way.
That's the thing is, look at the fucking. For example.
I mean, they now we have technology, we have social media. Like you could put, hide certain shit, and it's. I mean, a lot of shit gets exposed, but
Yeah, but all intentionally though.
I mean, you
I think
can't.
they do
We're to the
intentionally.
point where you just can't go and, bam, like someone's gonna see that. So now you gotta hide shit.
Yeah,
I don't.
jab people in the fucking back and
It's
shit, yeah.
like.
It's sneaky.
I don't
It's-
think things really have changed too much. Everybody's
No.
saying it's changing, but I think it's just in a different.
Just a
It's
different
just
style to it.
hiding itself in
So this-
different places.
So this actually has to do with, and I'm not trying to like reference my most recent episode a ton, but like basically I was talking about this thing. I don't know if you guys watched it, but basically in the 50s, dude, I fucking read this thing. Okay, you know about the Tuskegee Project?
Yeah.
But okay, so everyone, you know about the Tuskegee
Yeah.
Project? Okay, so it was basically they were poisoning a bunch of mostly black dudes. There were some white dudes with syphilis.
Yeah.
And they were telling them something else. I'm slightly buzzed and I don't remember, but they were telling them something else, and they're poisoning them with syphilis to see the side effects. So in 1955,
You gotta see what happens when it's untreated.
yeah, exactly. So in 1955, they started spraying some sort of fucking psycho-ass chemical. Like, it was a fluorescent powder. It's like a fucking... God, I can't remember what it is.
They're trying to spray some chemical this fucking weekend or whatever on like 20,000 acres or some crazy stuff to kill crickets.
No way.
And everybody's like, oh man, it's gonna be like the same carcinogen and that's like harmful to humans and everything else too. And they're literally like just postponed it until July 7th. They're gonna spray it unless everyone can postpone it again.
Oh, wait. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, that'll fucking
Once
save
again,
me a
that's
little
what
bit
the
of time.
fucking news cycle.
So,
They waited
dude, they're
is doing.
they were spraying this town. It was it was a town, St. Louis. They were spraying, and I believe there was a town in Texas. When I was watching this other video, they were talking about spraying a town in Texas. But the article I found was about St. Louis. Basically, long story short, they're spraying this like super carcinogenic, super toxic chemical all over St. Louis, mostly low income. Like 70% was children, and 90% of them were black. And they were spraying them on all these fucking people, and they were saying, and they were telling the local officials, it's a smoke screen in case the Russians, because remember, this is when Pete Bassin was on the fucking, on the East and West Germany border, right? And we were worried about the Russians invading. So we just started smoke screening
what year
all
was
these
this?
cities.
What year?
1955 is when we started.
Okay.
And so we started smoke screening all these cities, quote unquote, and basically it was like a super toxic chemical. Like this one lady that they interviewed was like, yeah, we were all out playing outside in the street and they covered us in this fluorescent, like this powder is the way she described it. I ran inside, washed off my face and arms, and then I went back outside with the rest of the kids to play. So then the government, 1994 comes around, the government admits, that was like cyanide, fucking sulfate something or other or whatever the fuck. We were trying to see like what it would do. But here's the deal, they never went back to see what the fucking results were. They literally just sprayed it on people, and like here's the deal, the one thing I pointed out is like, okay, this article that I was reading was in 2012. I'm like, it is 2023, and no one has gone to St. Louis to just dig up some records and be like, who died of cancer? Because this lady said that she had battled 4 different types of cancer.
That's because it's small.
That's what I was about to say. Is that just tells you their intent? Because if they're trying to see results, the kind of results that you would see on the front page of the news, where it's like a national story.
Exactly.
Everyone's
just
dying. You know, so that's probably the results they were looking to see, because otherwise, it's just small potatoes and it's unusable.
Yeah, it gave you cancer when you were 60, not when you were fucking 10.
I mean, what was during the Cold War era, like the 60s? I just heard something I was just listening to a podcast where they actually, I think mid 60s, like they had a study where basically they were testing radiation because of the bomb. They were testing new forms of nuclear energy, and there was like every mother would have to take the baby for a teeth test. So because something was similar with the chemistry with nuclear and something in the chemicals in the teeth that it would hide. No, it's not lead, but it would hide in the teeth. So you would take. I'll ask my.
That's why, because I know they.
There's something going.
Radiation poison.
The kid, your mom, you'd have to take your kid in. They test
the brittleness.
Test your teeth to see
I think it was comes out of the basements and houses and shit under the foundation.
Radon?
Radon, yeah.
I don't.
Radium.
That's old school from the Dials. That's
Yeah.
It's on
Yeah.
it's on
That's from the
American
Radium.
History Tellers.
I've never heard of any of this.
There's some it's
If it's a,
It's a
History
well-known
Channel
thing.
It's radium, and if it's a modern day thing, it's.
no, I mean this was back,
This
you
was
know.
the government's fault, is what you're saying?
Yeah, they were testing, you know, this is with during the Cold War, so
Yeah.
everybody's testing their
Like Los
what they have
Alamos and
for
shit. Yeah.
for you know their nuclear, you know, Russia, China, you know, basically Russia and us, you know, at that time.
Yeah.
You know, seeing what, you know, going beyond the atomic bomb and, you know, and the nuclear race.
Mm-hmm.
And they were doing all these tests, and they were doing these secret tests. Well, Bikini Island, you know,
Yeah.
and then they were able to, you know, it was getting so close to America where they were, you know, if you had a baby, you went and you had their teeth tested and would
Wow.
tell if this was, you know, in there.
Yeah, if it was reaching the
I wish I was smart enough to really articulate it, but
Yeah.
it's on American History Tellers,
Yeah.
Cold War
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
Very fucking very good, man. Like this.
American
Don't
History
promote
Tellers.
somebody else.
It's
No,
on. Yeah, it's Wondery.
One.
It's a podcast. So if
Okay,
you go to
Wondery.
Wondery, and
Okay.
they got American History Tellers, and they got
Yeah.
all types of fucking.
So wait, hold on. Just so I'm clear on what you're talking about. Basically, we're doing nuclear tests.
They were doing, but we're in a different era now. So they're always doing tests.
Right.
No, I agree. But what you're
They're
talking
always
about,
doing
they're
tests
doing
on
nuclear
people.
tests.
Yeah.
If this was in nuclear time.
Okay, yeah.
After the Cold War, you know, 40s,
And then they were able to
50s.
find it in their fucking teeth.
Yes, because they were doing secret tests.
Okay.
And, you know, people were coming up with radiation poison, and the tests were so close to home that, okay, well, now we better
And that's
test
what I'm saying, dude.
children.
I want to get the
Probably
fuck
the
away
calcium
from places
in the
because,
water,
like, whip.
drinking water and shit.
You gotta know about whip.
All the fucking hard water.
The,
Doctors pick it up, and then you get it in your teeth and
Yeah.
on your dishes and whatever.
Cody, what is whip? What does whip
Yeah,
stand for?
I don't know what it stands for, but it's like fucking.
It's like waste something
Yes.
program. It's
Yeah,
like a WIP.
And basically, they go to these places, and they only have like 2, maybe 3 places in the U.S. that they could dump this fucking nuclear toxic waste, like the depleted uranium and the fucking all this shit, dude. Paved the way for science. So, you know, it's kind of like, you know, yeah, those 2 different things, but, you know, once again, all the scientific, there's nothing new under the sun, right? Like, sure, everything's like different or whatever with the times, but really it's all just the fucking same.
It is.
You know?
It is.
The only
And,
difference is the computer.
and dumb people are going to be dumb people that are going to follow. They're going to get mesmerized and focused in this, which is the scary part.
Yeah,
Like I guess I'm thinking on more of a technical level and, you know, trying to balance everything, but you're going to have those people that are just going to be, you know, mesmerized by TikTok.
right. And it's
I don't know how this operates, but it's coming. The information's coming to me, and I'm just gonna soak myself in it 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
You know, as opposed to it's all right. This is cool. How is this getting to me?
Yeah.
It is interesting. Like
Yeah.
this. It's,
Well, why?
you know, it's.
Yeah.
I mean, it's innovation. Like, it is interesting. Like I don't agree with it, but
But it's still just
Agree with
content that.
It's just entertainment. Like I was just thinking the other day, it's like, dude, there's no, like, there should come standard, like, some shit where it's like, it tells you what footage and meterage and fucking measurements and all kinds of, like, shit. There should be, like, an encyclopedia offline downloaded to every single one of these phones, but literally, every computer you have, it's just entertainment based. It's not even work based.
That's what it is.
And all of these things, it's like, you know, you think it's like just a part of like life or whatever, but really it's just like such a niche form of entertainment.
It's so.
And people seem to forget that, you know, because it's like,
there's
oh,
money in that.
I learned on this video the other day, this shit. But really, it's just fucking entertainment. And like this consistent entertainment, I mean, it's...
I mean, it depends. I mean, you could use it for good and bad. It's solely it's money based, so of course it's solely focused on what's going to make you money.
Yeah.
You know, people wanting to learn how to do stuff.
Yeah.
People just want to fucking, which is good. I agree with that.
Right.
That's awesome.
But it always divulges into like fucking blah, 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 talking
A
fucking...
lot of it is,
fucking,
yeah. A lot of it is.
I'm all Craig!
A lot of it is.
Do you remember that shit, Jason?
think
I hadn't the other day. I remembered that. I hadn't thought about it in fucking years. Oh, Craig.
I think for me it was like when I was a kid, driving in a car or doing something boring took a really long time. Like, I mean, it could be like a trip to Santa Fe was like fucking 9 hours.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, even if it was just like an hour and a half to town and back, like real quick, just try to go there and back, and only did one thing and came back. The trip itself, just there, was a really long time. And so I think that the random information from the phones that is like whatever, it doesn't have to be, you may not be interested, it just skips time. But when it wastes 15 seconds and it wastes 15 seconds and it wastes 15 seconds, all of a sudden it allows like 20-minute leaps to go by.
Yeah.
And then when you're at work or you're doing something like driving or something that's subconsciously boring to you, you're attracted to these time leaps that are literally just like wasting your life of consciousness.
Right, it's dissociation.
Mm-hmm.
You
give it
to
skip distance
to dissociate with
of
boring shit.
patience.
Yeah, I get understand.
Did you guys ever see that movie Click with Adam Sandler?
No.
It's a fucking great movie,
Once.
dude. It's like a very cheesy movie. But
That's
it's
what
a,
I heard. That's why I never watched it.
It's
but-
a great movie. It's about
Once he gets old, he can't go back, or he has.
yeah,
to
he's basically given, the premise of the story is, like, in short, he's given a remote that's like a magical remote that can fast forward through any situation.
Oh, yeah.
Or like turn things into slow motion, and then like the remote is like in essence what today we would consider like AI, and it just like learns the way that he does things. So he'll start getting into an argument with his wife, and it remembers that in past arguments he would fast forward through the argument. So he would be arguing with his wife, and he'll hear the remote start beeping, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And then they'll just fast forward like 5 years because that argument took 5 years to resolve.
Oh.
And so all of a sudden he's like this fat rich dude who fast forward like 15 years through his fucking life, and his wife left him for this hot ass other guy, and he's like fucking has a heart attack, dying in a fucking parking lot. And then he wakes up right before he gets the remote, and it was all like a dream.
Yeah.
And then he like gets the option to get the remote again, and he's like, fuck that.
remote.
And he's
Yeah.
like, it's a great movie, dude. It's like,
cool.
it's fucking wild, bro. Because it's like,
That's cool.
yeah.
That's
I like
what the
it.
phone is, dude. It's
It's what-
skipping your patience. for
Predictive
15
programming,
seconds to
dude.
get forward a little bit.
You know what though? I remember as a kid, like, you know, I live in Chicago, and my great grandparents lived in Missouri, so we take several trips. Back in the Suburban, no seatbelt. I'd have my Star Wars shit, and just remember, like, kneeling. The seat's here. I'm kneeling and just fucking with my Star Wars He-Man shit all the way there. Like, I don't remember those trips ever really dragging on. There was no phone. I remember looking out the window, fucking, oh, this is cool.
Right, road tripping, dude.
Road tripping, and I'd have my shit, and I'd kneel on the floor, you know, the back seat here, and I'd fucking have my shit, and just my imagination fighting, you know, and just fucking going, you know.
Yeah.
Well, now we're seeing we're generation deep, maybe even two, into the fucking, you know, we're just like training our brains and neurons to just jump to, once again, just like fucking short-term satisfaction,
Just easy
dissociation.
Yeah.
You know, look, entertainment 24/7. You know, just a click of a button, you could have a little entertainment, a little dopamine fix. And so, imagine 5 generations in the future. Will our kids even have the fucking? If you just turned everything off and you lived all hippie style and you threw them in the back of Suburban,
They would
and you're fucking cruising out, you know.
mental breakdown.
Legit,
Mental
like
breakdown.
fucking
They
their
wouldn't handle
brain
it
would
because
break
their
down.
brain has been trained.
The time will
That's
take
the problem.
10 minutes
Yeah.
to take way
It's
too
like
long.
you need a digital thing
Patience
to,
fucking wear
instead of
out.
taking these little plastic things and like really in your head, you got a battle going on.
Yeah,
all this
no,
shit
I like
going
that.
on.
I was telling my lady,
Man.
like I used to go to the grocery store with my mom, and like with my imagination, I'd sit there and be in the Matrix, and I'd be like Neo, and I'm like with my mind moving shit, you know, and like, dude, kids don't have that anymore.
They don't.
Like no shit, dude. I have a video on my fucking phone. I went fishing like a month ago. These kids there's a kid sitting on the log, and then there's another kid like sitting off on his phone. Then there's another kid like sitting off, staring in the distance, and then there's another kid stirring the water with a stick. None of them are talking. They don't know how to be outside. They literally are just standing there. There's like, they all came to the lake together, and they're all just like, I'm like sitting there across the lake. I took a video with my phone. Like, there's no fucking way, bro. Like, this is
fight
fake.
each other or
They're
something. Beat the shit out of
NPCs.
each other.
Like, what the
can't.
fuck?
I
You're
can't
not
do
talking.
Shit.
I can't.
Fuck.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I can't do it. I don't get it.
It's sad,
Well, this
dude.
is like the evolution. This is the slow motion evolution of humanity. Like we got to that point, and then we're just like computers are just.
And you
going
know,
to,
It's
not that
me,
we're
so
getting-
we all know it's gonna go here during a speakeasy. But dude, the Bible literally says, man. Well, okay. Let me preface this for anyone who doesn't know. Man was made of clay of the earth. Okay, and then and I can't tell you which fucking verse it is in which book. But basically, I think it's Matthew something. But basically, man will mix with iron. Clay.
Yeah.
Man will become clay and iron.
Yeah.
And then you look at Neuralink. That's why I don't like Elon Musk.
Yeah.
I'm like, that dude is the fucking. If anyone is the Antichrist, it is Elon Musk.
Yeah,
in my
because
personal
it
opinion.
is fucking like it is merging man and machine. It's the transhumanist agenda.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know, and
100%.
That's really the end goal of this thing. They're steering the evolution of humanity, and really that's the end goal of it. That everyone's androgynous, everyone's fucking gay, everyone's fucking communist.
I think
you
you need-
implant the chip in your fucking brain. We can null your senses through frequencies.
I don't think that's what Elon's going for.
No, he's not. But
I'm just saying, if there's an Antichrist, he
At
definitely.
this moment,
he
I'm
literally showed up like,
I'm
dude.
definitely not pro Elon, but I appreciate what he's doing, the ideas that he's throwing out there.
Hold on, let me recite it again. Biblical level, dude. Another verse out of the Bible is they will show up cloaked as angels, but yet they are the masters of deception.
Yeah, and that, and that's the thing is the fucking Antichrist is going to be like much like Christ, much like the second coming of Christ, performing miracles, doing crazy shit, fucking columns of fucking fire from the sky, whatever the fuck, right? And so,
I do apologize. I brought it to this level.
No. It's,
yeah,
all right, so I mean, what is Elon?
he hasn't performed any miracles, that's for damn sure.
I
When
don't-
he kicks Zuckerberg's ass,
then
then maybe.
Then maybe.
then
All right, then he's in the biblical level.
yeah. Now we're fucking worried.
Didn't you say there was a move like the walrus? He's just gonna lay on him.
Did he say that? Oh my god.
Yeah, move like the walrus.
It's because he fucking weighs like 40 pounds heavier. He's not even in the same weight class. He's just fucking woof.
Fucking joke.
He's like, I'm not gonna work out. I'm gonna
And
eat
he's done
sugar.
sumo. I know Elon's done
American
sumo.
entertainment.
There you
That's
go.
what
There
it's
you go, once
resorted
again,
to.
Just like pressing the button.
We want to see more.
Yeah, come on, big
UFC, boxing, it's not enough. We want to see more.
Yeah, you want to see Cybertronic fucking
Oh my
warfare.
god, it's fucking ridiculous, man.
Yeah,
It was fucking a joke.
I love it, dude. But it really is, once again, the evolution of humanity. Here we are, boys.
So let me ask you
Nah,
this,
you
Chris.
give him a leg. You know,
No.
Oh yeah, I'm part of this. I'm part of this. So turn this shit.
So Chris, as the
White
oldest
House
dude
sports
here,
bar.
as the most experienced and most wise, as I would put it, what would you say? Look at
Wise,
Chris.
Tell us. Oh my god. Very good. Yes, sir.
Hey,
What would you-
wisdom
spectacles
comes
on?
with
Yes.
experience.
What would you like to know?
What do you think? Do you think a civil war is possible within mine and Cody's lifetime, Dace's lifetime, your lifetime? Like, give us a timeline.
When's it gonna happen? When's it popping off?
Dude, honestly, it's always been like that. It's always been talked about. Like, I always heard a revolution.
Just
Like all my life, it's like, all right, when it's gonna happen?
So let me ask you.
Like,
let me follow that up with, when has it been this crazy? And I'm genuinely asking that.
Dude, and seriously, I think there's always an issue.
No, it's fair.
It's
that's
not
fair.
one thing.
Yeah, yeah.
It's another. Like the early 2000s, like with the unions working in the Mexican invasion. It's like
Yeah.
a big, huge thing. Like it's big now,
Mhm.
but it was bigger then. Like there's always something.
Mainstream back then.
There's always something they're gonna focus on. It's
Yeah.
like, and does it come to fruition sometimes, but not usually? Like Iraq War, like, all right. So the earliest war that I can remember was,
Desert Storm.
Desert Storm. Yeah,
Okay.
Desert Storm, and like, I was a kid, I didn't really pay too much attention to it, but it was all over. Then it just seems like everything just gets regurgitated. It's like,
So you think this
It's
culture
kinda
war
the same.
shit is literally just another submersible story?
I think
It's
is.
all just a fucking
Like it is. It's just like on.
WWE shit.
You'll see. Yeah, it's just like there's always something
all
new.
Russia, Ukraine, all
This
this.
is yeah. That's what very much the idea that
I mean,
get from
Cold
the Russian
War. We're like back to again. We're
Right.
like going back now.
Right.
We're like
recycled
China and Taiwan and fucking Russia, Ukraine. It's like
Right. And you're
it's
supposed
just,
to keep up with it and care about it. And
you
wave
are.
the
It's
flag.
almost like, dude. It's like same
Yeah.
old story. Like okay.
Same shit
Same
over and over again.
Same shit. And hope that we don't get into, like, thank God we haven't had World War One, II, even Vietnam.
Mhm.
Like, Iraq. I remember being, like, on the border, like, no, I was young enough to get,
I was gonna say, how old were you when Iraq happened? In your 20s?
mid-20s.
Right. So you could have gotten drafted.
So I was, like, remember, like, kind of being worried. Like, fuck, man, I got drafted.
Pussy diving.
I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck's going on. You're fucking young, you know.
Yeah.
You're not paying attention.
Would you dodge a draft?
It's only
I don't know how I
250
would.
grand.
You fucking leave the country or some shit.
No.
And did you know that dude?
Even
It's
now,
only
if they fucking drafted you
$250,000?
tomorrow, would you dodge it?
That's
I don't
it.
have the means to do it. No,
Just
I have to do it. No, it depends. Like, when you're that young, like, you don't know. Like, do I agree with the war or do I not? Like, I don't
Right.
fucking
You're
know.
not. You're politically.
You're fucking young, you know? I just got out of fucking high school. I'm fucking
Right.
early
Smoke
20s
weed,
fucking trying to make money and fucking partying. Like,
Yeah.
Did you know it's only 250,000? I know I say only, but did you know it's only $250,000 if you dodge the draft and you can pay it off?
Really?
Yeah.
No, back then that wasn't
That's
an
why,
option.
like,
Like,
people
I remember, like, I like literally distinctly remember, like, it was my first fucking car that I bought on my own. I had a fucking Monte Carlo. I remember pulling in the garage and this shit was going on. I'm like, man, what do I do if they fucking draft me?
War. yeah.
Like, I'm like, literally, dude, like, seriously, like, I'm
Flip it
kind of
out.
nervous.
Yeah.
I'm high, I'm kind of nervous. I'm like, I'm just gonna have to do it, man.
Yeah.
Like, that was my age. I'm like, I just have to go. They call me, I gotta go. You know, I wouldn't dodge it. Like, it would
Fucking go.
You
be
gotta
something
go.
I'd have to do. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
they called on me, I'm not going to jail. I'm not
Running.
living at home. I'm not fucking
Outlaw.
running to another
Fucking
country.
moving to Canada.
I guess I'm going, man. You know, like, that's what it is.
In the
Service
beginning,
is
anyways.
from
In the
18 to
beginning,
25.
yeah, once they run out of that pool.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah.
fucking
Hold on, hold on.
Age,
Yeah.
That's
They-
the
Like, I don't think I
Up
can
it all
join
way
the
to
military
60,
now.
bro.
'cause
They've
I'm
upped it up to
36.
64, dude.
Hold on, hold on.
Very
We'll
short
get
period
there.
of
Hold
time.
on. You're
Yeah.
fucking accelerating this conversation
I
at
know.
100 miles an hour.
But it was a very short amount
Okay,
of time.
hold on.
Congress has the power to do it.
I understand that. You're accelerating. My point
Sorry.
is right fucking now, the selective service, I'll Google it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
18 to 25. If you are 26, you are out of the range. They will not draft you.
Right. So yeah, Iraq. When we went to the World Trade Center, I was 23.
So that's my point. Is
So I was like,
right
fuck.
there, you are dead center in the fucking range.
Yeah.
The cross.
We are right outside of it. And in regards to, and then I believe what you're referring to is more like the next step, right? It's like now we need more motherfuckers. We need people up to 40.
Exactly.
Or whatever,
So they-
right?
Yeah. And I
And then
remember
the
them
next
saying that.
step-
That's
and-
what fucking freaked me out. I remember like, those are your tick guys up to 40. I'm fucked.
And then they'll take it up to 64, like Cody's talking about. And I think the last time we did that was Civil Wars, right? Is what you're talking about?
No, I think it was World War I or II. I can't.
Oh,
remember.
okay, holy
By
shit.
Congress, with less than 24 hours, they all assembled and fucking signed into order that fucking 64-year-olds all the way up to there would be drafted.
But I do believe
it was a
until-
very short period of time, but it just shows.
No, they will do it. If they
Yeah.
have to, they'll do it.
And here's the deal: is
Especially
this
if
is
we're going
where
against
I
fucking
say,
China or Russia. We have no choice.
Yeah.
yeah. Oh,
Those
well,
motherfuckers will just go.
I don't know. Now we've got fucking technology.
Well,
And here-
technology, yeah.
And you know, I know that's another discussion like we were talking about earlier. That's almost a separate discussion. But it's like, for instance, our what is it? It's not a B-52. Yeah, B-52.
B-52, yeah.
The B-52 bomber
Yeah.
is 7 times more capable than China's most advanced thing, and
know
that
That's
of.
no.
Yeah.
Well, the funny
I'm
thing is-
not shitting on what you're saying because I
Yeah.
do
No,
agree
the
that
funny
there's-
thing is that that's what they say. But what happened in Afghanistan?
Hold on. No, I agree.
Like nothing. Like
Yeah, motherfuckers with the AK-47s.
it's like you either like, are you willing to destroy fucking everything?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
No
getting
one's
at.
ever willing to do that. So it's you and you almost
And that's what.
don't like that's a fine line.
And I feel like this is where I get real conspiracy minded. But this is where, like, I was telling my lady, and I said this probably like a month ago on one of my episodes. Like, I really do believe that I don't think that they will ever set off a nuke, because I think there's people above them that will say,
hope so.
we have a bigger agenda that's more about creating chaos and distracting motherfuckers from what's
And
actually
money.
going on.
Yeah, that's the thing, is you've got all these fucking weapons manufacturers that are accidentally giving them, like, you know, a few billion more worth of fucking arms and shit. You know, so it's like, it's not only that, it's like they're all just benefiting off of everyone's fucking business by just keeping this hamster wheel going.
But that's what you gotta appreciate about almost, you know, it
Complexity.
sucks, you know, about
But no
the
one's getting
U.S. About the U.S. is that we have all these, call them what you want, like we have all these different ideas. China, Russia, they're kind of like on the same fucking train.
Yeah.
Like, all right, this is what they tell us to do. This is what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Here you, man. You know, LGBT. No, that.
Yeah.
But at least there's input. You
Yeah.
know, it's like, all right. We need to stop. We need to think about this.
And but that's why they want communism in this country, because they see
No,
how
exactly,
effective
yeah.
it is to just be like, no, you're gonna do what everybody does as one organism, or you
And
get the fucking boot.
and that's the thing. Like, I almost hate. You know, you hate the
Shit.
diversity, but at the same time, it's like we need these voices, whether it's bullshit or not. We kind of
Right.
need it.
You need this. These people.
You know, you
saying
need to
this shit.
stop these fucking, you know.
And like, and I
They
don't mean
think
to
they're
interrupt you,
rebelling, but they're really just going along with what they want, though. That's
but I know, Cody, you listen
They-
to a lot
yeah,
of
they
what
are,
like
they
Klaus
are.
Schwab says, right? Like, you know, in whatever, like from other people, right? You
Yeah.
don't listen to him directly, but you listen to. So like one thing that he talks about is COVID was how did he put it? Was a fucking, what did he
Perfect
say? A
opportunity.
minor disturbance
Oh yeah.
in comparison to what's coming. And what the
Yeah.
fuck just happened today? Actually, do you guys know what happened today?
Oh,
Supreme Court just overturned affirmative action.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
we have another
That was a
fucking
couple days
summer
ago.
of riots coming, boy.
Shit.
Like, dude, people are losing their fucking
That's
minds. You
fucking
turn on local news, that's all they're talking about right now. Is
Uh-huh.
the fact that Harvard isn't saying that, like, you have a 56% chance of getting into Harvard when an Asian has a 12% chance at the same score rate, or whatever the fuck. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Now that's
Just as
fucking wild,
perspective.
because that's once again they're just clogging the fucking system up, you know, with this shit. But that really needed to fucking go, dude.
No, I agree.
That's a W for
But it
America.
seems like a part of the motherfucking plan
Oh, yeah,
when you're
yeah.
talking about like, oh, it's a minor disturbance. And what the fuck did we hear? Do you remember fucking
No, they put it was probably in discussion for many years, and they finally pulled the trigger on it. Like, all right, no, it was in everybody's mind. Everybody knew it knew it
was
wasn't right,
racist.
but you got to get it. You know, let time play it out, and they're finally okay. I think it's time. No, fucking
But
no
let me
more.
ask you this.
You got to cut it off at some point.
Let me ask you this. Do you think that there is enough, and this is again a genuine question, do you think that there's enough power in money? Because we got to keep in mind, some of these people are richer than we can fucking imagine, right?
No.
So the question is not whether or not are these people powerful enough, is it money? Is money powerful enough to put this plan in place years in advance? Because I mean, even RFK Jr. is talking about Event 201, right? Isn't that what it's called, Event 201?
Yeah. Mhm.
You know, so it's like we have people coming out of the woodwork who are running for fucking president. Do you know what Event 201 is?
No, I should know because
It's
where
basically
they-
a simulation, right? It was a simulation.
Yeah, basically they ran the fucking you can call it the simulation essentially on. They had all these motherfucking world leaders and all of these motherfucking heads of corporations, CEOs, yada yada, fucking heads of hospital, yada yada. Every fucking body was in the room, right? Along with like these Bill Gates types and these whatever, right? So they're all in there and they're like, okay, here's what happens, you know, and it's all scripted, like a fucking video game or something, you know. It's like a role-playing game. It's like these dudes are playing D&D with the world, and they're like, fucking, this event happens. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? And then they're like, no, we don't like that. Do this. And then they get handed a script. Like, so if this happens, this is what you're gonna do, right? 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 Yeah, correct. Okay. And dude, it gets down to, and when I say D&D, it's like there's a dungeon master, and they're literally down to the point of like, there's like certain tweets that people make, and there's a reaction in the populace.
And eventually,
oh, what are we gonna do about that? What are you gonna do about that?
And Event 201,
here's the script.
Just to clarify what he's saying is Event 201 was COVID-19, but on paper.
Yeah.
They literally, in November of 2019, or October, right? It was in the fall of 2019, they approached all these world leaders with, in essence, the COVID-19 pandemic, but on paper.
It was a respiratory fucking virus that like killed fucking 40% of
thing.
Like, the whole
there.
Yeah. What they told you in the beginning of it was almost verbatim what they used as like the D&D
narrative,
right? This Event 201 shit.
No, it doesn't have.
And so they basically just ran a little simulation on that shit and had everyone on the same page. So then when it did roll out, they're like, oh yeah, right? Because you're signed up with our fucking crew here and you're gonna fucking do this because in the simulation we saved the world, right? Let's do that this way, right?
Yeah. Simulation.
So,
yeah.
But they're fucking certainly backpedaling now. Dude.
And so my question is, okay, so I guess now that we've have that as a preface, my question is do you think there's enough power in money to take control of the entire world's government in order to basically say, like, Putin invade Ukraine, create a distraction, do all this blah de blah? Like, what do you think there's enough power in money to do that?
I do now because of AI. That's the fucking point.
Possibly.
Literally because of that. Now all it takes, like everybody's saying, like, oh, it's like the arms race. Whoever can fucking get the supreme AI first wins everything. It's like the final chess move. Right, so if you can perfect that, and if you have all the fucking money in the world, it's like fuck it all. And this is what Klaus Schwab says: is it's going to be fucking cybernetic fucking attacks, right? Cyber attacks, and they're going to target your fucking grid system and your fucking your banking system and all this shit at once. And that will be the extreme terrorist attack, catastrophic failure that will end everything. But dude, if you have the AI, it's done with the snap of a finger. From the richest dude on the planet, because you find the dude who's developing the technology, you pay him everything in your bank account, and it's fucking done, dude. The world is over.
Well, what about the sleeper thing too, where it's like Princess Diana's down, and then there's like the new king or whatever, but he's obviously like kind of like Biden, probably doesn't have a whole lot to do. But then there's the younger guy that's like super militant. That's like not the one that came to L.A. and married off and all that.
That's all. That's all bullshit.
Like always in his uniform, crew cut ball, basically like that guy. When he gets to step up, which is probably going to be next.
I don't know that guy.
That's probably going to be World War III for real, because he's probably going to be the one to like take control of whatever, his heirs. Like when he becomes the heir, he's going to have decisions to make. The old man now doesn't have decisions.
No, that's just that system doesn't even work anymore, really.
I know, but just think about it though.
Like, what are they? They have no control.
It's all just play.
Yeah, it's just role play at this time.
Yeah,
Don't you think?
But I think he's going to be the one to try to actually take control of his heritage, versus the old ass man that actually be subdominant to Elizabeth the entire time.
But they have what?
When that guy comes up, it's going to be rough.
It's like prime minister. Like, what does England have?
They have kings and queens and shit.
Yeah, but that doesn't count.
No, he's saying it's like a political
sleeper cell. They're the one sleeper cell that's just been dormant the whole fucking
because
time
they don't actually play a political role or whatever. But it's all like you say. It's like
they don't do anything.
Yeah. They have all the fucking parliament and shit.
They get money. That's about it.